Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Ronacraft Season 2. This is episode 3 and we're going to start it off with some end busting. Mainly because if we look into this end chest, these are the only shulker boxes that I actually have. Plus, I currently only own one elytra, so if this one breaks, we're going to have to walk until I can get it repaired. So let's go flying through the end and get a whole bunch of shells and maybe a few elytra. I only actually spent about 30 to 40 minutes in there, and we got a decent amount of stuff. If we take a look at the end chest, we got over a stack and a half of shulker shells and a spare elytra. And of course, like I said before, these were my only boxes that I had, so this is going to make it so we can have a lot more bigger projects here on the server. So we have to start filling up a lot more of these spaces inside of the general store. And there's one thing that can really help us with that, and that is villagers. If we start making ourselves like some sort of villager hall, we can start selling a whole bunch of different things that they sell. So that means that we have to replace one of these templates with a house, and then below that house we are going to be having our villager breeder. So let's go for, I'm thinking this template right here, which is kind of in front of the house, and I think it's in a pretty good spot for one because we could not only have the villager breeder below the house, but we could also interpret some sort of villager breeder back here and just have like a little side entrance over into the side of the cliff. So let's jump into some sort of time lapse and montage mix of building up a villager breeder. Now we have a villager breeder house, at least. If you come out to the front here, we got a little bit of a bed logo showing that this is the villager breeder. And you come inside, you get a little tiny interior. I am not good with interiors at all, so this is just pretty much what I went with. And then you have this trapdoor right here, which leads down to the villager breeder itself. And I'm not really worrying about like decorating this place with like walls and making it look all fancy, just because this is kind of this is just really a working area and not really a place that I want to be showing off to the public. It looks like I'm either lagging the server with all these villagers or nope, I am lagging myself. And of course, in order to start selling more stuff from these villagers, we're going to need a way to collect emeralds. And the main way that I was thinking about doing this would be using pumpkins and melons. So if you come down here into this section over on the edge here, this is where I was thinking that we could probably build some sort of farm. With, of course, a house right here to hold all of like the outputs for a pumpkin and melon farm. But then, of course, we do have to make it look good as well. So we can come over here and put some sort of field in here. Have pumpkins and melons in it. That way it looks like this building is getting it from the field, not just a farm under the ground. So I'm just going to really quickly jump cut to when I have the actual farm itself built, and then we'll come back and build up the house in the field. All right, looks a little janky right now because of the fact that I used a bit of blue glass, some stone. But as you see, there are some melons coming up. And if we come right down here, this is the little temporary chute, you can see the actual farm working. It does look a little skinny, but that's only because the other side of this wall is water and the other side of that wall is water. So I've managed to squeeze this thing into a very tiny space. And of course I use the exact same mechanism that I used over in the slime farm to dispense all the pumpkins and melons from the minecart with Hopper into the little system over here that's going to dispense it up to the chests. And as you see, if we look into this chest, that there are even a decent amount of pumpkins and melons in here, but of course this thing's only really been set up for like 5 minutes, so there's not going to be a lot. But of course we can't just be having some chests and a really ugly looking tube out here. We got to turn this into a house along with the field over here. So I'm just going to really quickly gather up some materials for that, and then I'll come back. All right, got all the materials. Now let's build up this house. So starting off at the front here, I was thinking we probably do some dark oak logs there. Then we could take some oak planks and then come into here and then just leave a little spot for a door right there. And then we will bring this up a little bit as well. And we'll strip these down as well, and that should work for at least one of the walls. As if for over here, we can start taking in some of the smooth sandstone and then just putting some more dark oak logs. And then right here, we'll just bring the other log in. And then actually on this wall, we are going to do a little bit of a gradient going from stone to andesite. And then something like that should work. Coming in the back here is where it's going to get a little bit tricky, so we can start off by putting some smooth sandstone there. Then we can go ahead and craft up some spruce trapdoors, and then we can just put them simply right there. And then of course bring the dark oak back in here. And then as if for this wall over here, we can bring it across using some smooth sandstone. And then taking out this little bit of cobblestone, we can replace this with some oak planks. And then as if for this last little section right here, what we can do is go ahead and just add some smooth sandstone right there. As for the roof, we will start off with some stone bricks. And then we'll take this probably up one more, and then we'll even it off with some slabs. And what we can also do is just cut out this little piece right there, put a small window, and then maybe add a trapdoor. Now we can go ahead and get the trim going on the rest of the house. Now that we got this, we can start layering in some spruce stairs. All right, there we go. Now we got the exterior complete of the house, but now we have to do the interior. So I'm just gonna really quickly get this done. Okay, something like this should work for the interior. All we have is a section for our chests and a little area to AFK if we need to. And then if you come outside, I also added this little overhang here just because this wall was seeming very bare. But something else we can do is come right here and actually build up a cart that is going to have some pumpkins and melons on it. So if we start off with some trapdoors like this, we can then add some oak trapdoors like this for wheels. We can add a spruce fence gate right there for the handle, and then add our pumpkins and melons on top and then wrap it in some signs. Now I'm just going to really quickly make some finishing touches on this, so then we'll be good to go. And then there we go. Got all the finishing touches done, and now we can call this building finished, and now we have full access to pumpkins and melons. But of course, this isn't the only thing that we are doing in this area, because like I said, I want to add some sort of field right here. And of course, this will have some pumpkins and melons, so it'll look like that's where this building's getting all its produce from. So starting off with this area, we could probably have a stone-ish wall, like an old broken down one maybe, that spans across the back end over here, and then a newer type fence in the front. So of course, for that, we're going to be needing to use stone, some cobblestone, and a little bit of andesite. So let's just build up some sort of wall to go around this back end. Something like this should work. So now let's get a little newer fence, probably made out of some spruce and maybe some logs right here. And then here we go. Got the new fence in there. So now this is starting to look a whole lot better. Now we have to actually get the field itself in here. Okay, got this all done. So we now have a little pumpkin patch right next to our pumpkin and melon farm. Okay, I want to give this time so it can work, so I actually want to start working on a different thing that we can stock, which is going to be oxidized copper. What I want to do is be able to fill up an entire chest, probably with maybe stacks of 32 in every single slot. So I'm going to go ahead and spend about 2 hours mining up a lot of copper. Alright guys, I'm cutting the montage a little bit short. That way I can really show you how much copper we got. Because I actually laid it out all in the swamp, so we can oxidize it very quickly. Because if you do a little 4-block technique thing, I don't know how it works, but it oxidizes faster. So let's go ahead, let's take it to the skies. And I'll show you actually how much copper we have collected. And now it isn't fully oxidized in this corner, but I mean, by the time we get over here from that corner, I think this will be oxidized. And I actually don't know how much copper this actually is because I was placing it as it was coming out of the super smelter back there. So let's just mine it all and see how much we got. Alright, so I actually mined the pieces that weren't done yet, and I have laid them out over here. So this actually isn't bad for the amount that I thought we had. I thought we had a lot more not finished. But as of for what we did get, look at all this copper. With all this, we'll definitely be able to stock up the shop. So let's just go ahead and get it done. So if we come into the shop, I think we can sell it right next to these slime blocks. And now we just have to lay this out. And then we got just under 3 stacks of copper left, which is pretty good. And of course right here we got oxidized copper, 1 diamond for 32 stacks. Alright, it hasn't even been 5 minutes with this shop open, and we already have it sold out. Although this is very nice because it is a nice 27 diamonds that we've already made, it does mean that it did run me almost bone dry. I have collected everything that I have in my chests, and I've started laying it out. That way we can at least have something in there, but I don't think we'll have copper for too long. But I do want to veer away from collecting copper and start working on something that's a little bit more difficult. In this shulker box right here, I have a whole bunch of pumpkins and a whole bunch of melons that have been accumulating over there for a while because of how much time it took for all the other copper to oxidize. So I'm going to take all of the pumpkins and melons, go down, and really start working on the villagers. Just so we can get all of the materials that they sell, and then start selling it for our own profit. I will say that working with these villagers wasn't so bad. The only annoying bit was where I had to start bone mealing carrots in order to level up the villagers up. Eventually I could stop doing that because I started getting emeralds from the villagers that were having the pumpkin and melon trade. Although it is kind of funny how you can see the zombie really struggling to kill the villagers because I had accidentally splashed him with a weakness potion. But yeah, other than the bone meal and the fact that the zombie took a while to kill the villager, everything went pretty smooth. But surprisingly, getting this many villagers in and ready didn't actually take me too long. However, the boring part is coming to actually trading and getting all of the emeralds. But as for zombification, that is also set up right there. And then there is this zombie that I have currently transforming back. And there he goes. That was actually pretty quick. But the only reason why I actually had him like this was because he accidentally saw me kill someone, and he wasn't very happy about it. Because typically with masons, it's all an emerald for that block, as you see here with the quartz. This guy was doing like 6 emeralds per block of quartz, and there's no way I was doing that, so over to the zombie he went. But I'm just going to go ahead, sit here for a while, get some more pumpkins, and just get a whole bunch more materials. That way we can start stocking this. I do already have a good amount of golden carrots, however, it's not a full box yet, so we're not going to stock that just yet. And then I have a few more things like bricks, and I have a feeling I want to sell like dripstone. However, I'm thinking there's only about 1 or 2 of these guys that are actually selling dripstone blocks, and it actually looks like we only have 1. So then maybe we're not going to sell dripstone. The only way I would sell this, of course, is if we made a farm for it, but these things are so slow. So then maybe we'll sell this stuff, some quartz, because I know every single villager is guaranteed to sell quartz, and you can have up to 12 quartz from every like purchase before maxing them out. So maybe we can, let's see, right now we have about 6 mason villagers, and then maybe we can extend it more down this hallway. Because after all, I do have 6 more stone cutters, so we can double the amount of quartz that we can get out of this. But then of course we're going to maybe need some more farmers, that way we can have more emeralds. Villagers are a pain. So yeah, I'm going to spend a bit of time over here just working with these villagers, getting some emeralds, getting some more blocks, and then I'll come back. Alright, now I got this full box of golden carrots to sell, but I think I want to have some sort of like little twist on it. So we're not just going to be selling normal golden carrots. So what I want to do is actually build up another building. That way we can transform these golden carrots into a different type of food. So let's go into a little bit of a time lapse of building up a quick building. Alright, so of course this building, I think you can probably tell just by that right there, this is a pizzeria. Went for a little bit of a simple design for a building and tried to interpret some bricks as well, because that just kind of seems like something a pizzeria would have. But coming inside here, we can see we have some seating here, so if anybody wants to, you know, dine in at our restaurant, they can. A little painting up on the wall with the Wither, if anybody that's here just wants to have a little chat about their experiences with the Wither. And then coming back here, we have the kitchen. So we have like some storage area here, the counter, and then over here we have the furnace. And yes, I have no honeycomb, so got to keep turning this back to the normal copper. But this oven is going to be where we are actually going to be making our pizzas. Simply all we have to do is take our golden carrots, put it in the oven, just look away for a bit, and they will just turn into pizza. So for now, let's just sit at our table and just kind of wait. All right, that should be enough time, and if we look over, it is now pizza. So now let's make an entire shulker box full of our nice pepperoni pizza. All right, got the entire box transformed into our brand new pizzas, so we can now sell it. And what I think we're gonna go ahead and sell this for is gonna be 1 diamond per 3 stacks. And of course make that glow, and we now sell pizza. All that copper that we had before is now in my inventory. I did actually just store a little bit to make it an even stack, and we now have 5 stacks of oxidized copper. And because of the fact that it sold out so quick, I'm thinking about just reducing the price a little bit to 1 diamond per 16, because I mean, we can make a lot more money, especially if this is in high demand for some people. So let's just update the sign here to 1 diamond per 16 blocks. So now I must inform the others that our copper is now restocked. And just saying, it's been about a day and we've already started making some sales on our pizza. I did also add bricks to the shop just because I actually got an entire shulker box of it, so if anybody needs that, they can now buy it over here at the general store. Since our area is starting to come together, I'm going to take the shovel and just extend this pathway a little bit and just make it look good so it's not just a little single path. And this shouldn't take too long, although I think I am also going to grab a little bit of coarse dirt, although it does look like we are very low on that, so we may have to go, yeah, on a little bit of a gravel run. So before we even do that, I'm just going to go quickly grab just a shulker box of gravel. As we're heading over there, I just wanted to show what the Nether Hub's looking like, and as you see, we have a whole bunch of tinted glass here. And I don't know if you know this, but this block is very expensive because it requires the amethyst crystals. But currently we're trying to get every portal that we have linked up to this, and the most annoying part is having to clear out this forest. I've done my part and cleared out all of this, although I didn't get it on any replay because I was just kind of relaxing one night, so I just hopped on and did a whole bunch of tree mining. But there's still a bit more area that we need to cover. That being this area over here, however, I don't think I'm going to start worrying about this today. Maybe I will do this in the next episode. And then of course we also have all of this we need to worry about as well, and I'm thinking we should probably also take a bit of this out as well. But for now, we have to make our way all the way down to the gravel, and I need to really put a totem in my offhand when I'm flying in the Nether. And we really need to make this path a little bit better over to the gravel biome. This is all we have. It is a 1 wide platform going all the way over here. Alright, so let's really quickly get some gravel. And bam, full shulker box of gravel. Let's pick this up and let's go and extend that path. Whew. I really gotta thicken this path. I almost just fell off. Also, flying through a 2x2 is not fun because I can easily hit my head. I'm also not very sure if people actually know where that is, so I should probably get some markers going that direction. I can't believe we just went out to get gravel for coarse dirt and I just found another 2 stacks of it right here. But honestly, it's no big deal. I'm thinking if we use some spruce slabs to like kind of go up the hill a bit, that might work. All right, let's get to thickening this path. I'm not sure if I'm digging the whole spruce slab here. Maybe we can try an oak eventually, but for right now, I want to do something different. Because when I came over here, I couldn't really put the path through here because this stand is kind of in the way. So we're going to move it to a better location, in which for right now, I'm thinking it's probably going to be right up here. So let's just quickly get this moved. I'm going to take a few screenshots of this so it won't be that hard. There we go. Got the thing moved over. Didn't take too long. Maybe that's like 5 minutes, not even. I even got him back in his little lazy position, and everything's back in here. I'm not sure if I got these prices right. I'm pretty sure I did because I want to say I remember this being a diamond per stack. But that does now mean we can come through this area over here with the path and make this look better. And there we go. Now I just need to add like some of this grass stuff to it, but I don't really know if I have any. Oh, look at that. Turns out I actually have over a stack of this stuff. Let's add this in the area. All right, there we go. Just making this path a bit thicker makes this area look a bit better. So now we just have a few more buildings that we have to build up. However, I'm done with building for this episode. And I'm actually going to just end the episode right here because we are pretty much out of time and I need to get this out to you guys once again. In the next episode, I hope to get pretty close to finishing off this bottom part of the village. And mainly, I want to focus on this AFK spot that is just a box in the sky. But I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye. And if you're still sticking around, here is me having trouble getting out of the pumpkin and melon farm. Come on. Come on.